He is 22 years old and behind bars, possibly for the rest of his life. Our legal guys are ready to weigh in about the case against the Tucson shooting suspect. All right, a week after police say he opened fire on a political event in Tucson, Arizona, Jared Lee Loeffner is behind bars and facing a number of federal charges. Plenty to talk about with our legal guys, civil rights attorney Avery Friedman in Cleveland and criminal defense attorney Richard Herman in Las Vegas. Good to see you, gentlemen.
Hi, Fred.
Welcome back, Fred.
Welcome back.
Well, thanks so much. It has been such a long time. We got to stop doing this.
It has.
Way too long. All right, good to see you all. So Jared Loeffner is facing 5 counts, including first-degree murder and attempted assassination of a Congress member. And now he's got a well-known kind of roving public defender. So I wonder, first order of business for this public defender, Avery, might it be to try to push for some sort of insanity plea, or is instead try to avoid a death penalty as a potential sentence if her client is convicted?
Yeah, it's actually the latter. A lot of people think it's the former, that she's preparing an insanity defense. But the best thing she can do, and she's done it before, this is what Judy Clark does, Frederica, is she's going to be working with the U.S. Attorney's Office, with the Department of Justice, in trying to convince them not to pursue death sentence counts.
What would be that reason then? Wouldn't it need to be supported? It would need to be supported with a reason. You don't want this client to be facing death penalty because, and what would that because be? ...
Yeah, the because is there sufficient evidence about this defendant that would essentially tell the Department of Justice, you're never going to get the conviction in the first place. Don't waste your time.
Really?
That effort is going to be made. It's not going to be successful, Frederica. They're going to be 5 counts, and they will include 2 of the 5 will be death penalty counts.
Well, that's interesting. So, Richard, why even make that kind of argument? Because it seems there, at least what we have learned publicly, there is evidence, including the writings of Mr. Loeffner, saying, you know, that I planned this, using the word assassination, using the word Giffords. Darn, that seems like the nail in the coffin for him right there on conviction.
Yeah, it's kind of tough in an insanity plea where
in addition to your eyewitness accounts, you know.
Yeah, you claim you didn't know what you were doing or you could not appreciate the nature of your acts when they find in his house the representative's name with assassination attempt, you know, okayed or in action right now or approved. You know, that's no good. But what has to happen here is this. Both federally and on the state level, they should announce that they are moving for the death penalty. They should do that as quick as possible. That will then force this defendant and his attorney to have serious negotiations to try to resolve it and prevent the death penalty, yet plead guilty to the crimes here. Now, understand something. In Arizona, by the way, there's a state death penalty case and a federal death penalty case. 2 cases can be brought against this guy. However, if he gets convicted if, say, that insanity plea worked in the state in Arizona, what would happen is he would be sentenced to life. He would first go to a mental facility to try to treat him, and if he ever recovered from his mental illness, he would then be put in prison for the rest of his life. So either way, he's gone. The question, as Avery said, and as we'll be talking about in the future, is whether or not this attorney can save his life. That's the issue here.
So I wonder if judges already, and not if, but that judges in Arizona have already recused themselves from this case. Clearly, this means a change of venue, you know, for this trial to play out, Avery. But what state, what American, what judicial system hasn't already formed an opinion or at least been able to watch in graphic detail all that has played out in Arizona, in Tucson?
Yeah, that's a wonderful observation because the sense would be a venue change would be absolutely necessary because of the sense of the citizens in Tucson. But the reality is exactly what you just said. Everyone in America, unless you're living under a rock, is very much aware of every detail. The behavior was so overt, it was so flagrant, that whatever venue is selected, if it's out of Tucson, and that's a question, clearly the defense is going to face the same kind of problem because of the pervasive nature of the visibility of the case. So, you know, it remains to be seen. There's a good shot. It'll be outside of Tucson, but where it goes, you nail the issue. No one really will be able to tell.
Interesting. And just last weekend, I spoke with Pennsylvania's Representative Brady, who talked about, you know, proposing legislation to ban targets the symbol of targets, crosshairs on websites, etc. How can you enforce that? Is this an issue of constitutionality, Avery? I defer to you, Constitution, law expert. Will this end up being an argument of constitutionality? Can you do that? Can you ban an image on websites or anywhere else?
No, you can't. I mean, it's understood, the best intentions, reaching into the heart, but the reality is, as a general rule in vigorous, nasty debate, political debate, that sort of behavior is clearly constitutional. Now, the question becomes, where does it go over the line? And that's a fact question. But the on its face banning targets in political discourse is overtly and clearly unconstitutional. It's going nowhere.
Interesting. Okay. All right, gentlemen, we're going to talk to you again. And Richard, I know you have strong opinions about one of the cases we're going to be talking about. I know you're a huge LT fan. Lawrence Taylor, an update. I'm not going to say it because I know it hurts. I know it hurts. But we are going to talk about the case and the turn that it has taken, plus a few other things. Avery and Richard, good to see you. We're going to talk with our legal guys again. We've got a lot going on. Celebrities in court. Michael Jackson's doctor, a football Hall of Famer accused of rape, and a one-time powerful force in Congress. Our legal guys are ready to weigh in.